Chosen one. The cosmic casino just closed and the house always wins when you're the house. Right now, your enemies are staring at empty bank accounts, broken relationships and shattered reputations because they made the worst bet in universal history. They bet against you, and now they've lost everything. Here's what separates chosen ones from ordinary people. You don't just survive coordinated assaults, you transform attacks into fuel for your ascension. You don't just defend against sabotage, you convert opposition into stepping stones toward your destiny. You don't just outlast enemies, you outlive their bloodline of negativity while building your empire of light. What they thought was a coordinated assault on your life was actually a coordinated blessing in disguise. Every time they tried to isolate you, better connections appeared. Every time they tried to block your opportunities, superior alternatives materialized. Every time they tried to dim your light, the universe responded by making it burn brighter than ever before. You started noticing patterns they couldn't hide. Their fake smiles became transparent. Their manufactured emergencies became obvious manipulations. Their victim acts became comedy shows that only fooled other actors. You developed an immunity to their tactics that terrified them because they were losing control over your responses. But while you were growing stronger, they were growing desperate. The energy they spent plotting against you was energy stolen from their own progress. The time they dedicated to your destruction was time they weren't building anything positive. Their obsession with stopping you became their own prison, and they handed the universe the key. The divine forces surrounding your life were taking notes on every attack. They were calculating the perfect response to the perfect sabotage. They were building pressure behind a dam that would soon burst and flood their entire existence with consequences they never saw coming. The universe operates on laws more precise than any earthly court system. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For every attack against the chosen ones, there is a devastating counterattack from cosmic forces. They learned this the hard way when their entire world started crumbling simultaneously. You see, chosen ones don't fight their battles alone. We have backup that exists beyond the physical realm. We have protection that operates outside human understanding. We have a favor that transcends natural law. When they attacked you, they weren't just attacking a person. They were attacking someone under divine protection, and that protection responded with nuclear force. Their first mistake was underestimating the spiritual armor around your life. From the moment you were chosen, an invisible shield formed around your existence. When they launched their verbal missiles, when they spread their poison through whispered conversations, when they tried to turn people against you, that negativity never actually penetrated your core. It hit your spiritual protection and ricocheted straight back to its source with multiplied intensity. Their second mistake was not understanding the law of exponential return. In the spiritual realm, what you send out doesn't just come back to you. It comes back multiplied by the resistance it encountered. Their attacks against someone under divine protection didn't just return as equal force. They returned as overwhelming, devastating, life-altering consequences that left them questioning everything they thought they knew about reality. Their third mistake was thinking they could outsmart cosmic intelligence. They believed their little schemes were invisible to universal forces. They thought they could manipulate circumstances without divine intervention. They had no idea that their every move was being monitored by forces that make human intelligence look like kindergarten finger painting. The turning point came when they launched their final assault. You remember that moment when everything seemed darkest, when their coordinated attack reached maximum intensity, when they thought they had finally broken your spirit. That wasn't your lowest point. That was the moment the universe said enough and unleashed forces that would reshape their entire existence. In that exact moment, something shifted in the cosmic atmosphere. The same power that ignites stars and maintains the orbit of planets turned its attention to the situation at hand. The universe looked at their attack against you and responded with such overwhelming force that reality itself seemed to bend in your favor. Their downfall wasn't gradual, it was instantaneous and total. Projects they touched began failing for reasons nobody could explain. Relationships they valued started deteriorating without clear cause. Opportunities they counted on vanished like smoke in hurricane winds. Their reputation crumbled faster than a house of cards in an earthquake. Meanwhile, your breakthrough arrived like lightning striking in slow motion. Every door they had tried to close burst open simultaneously. Every relationship they had tried to poison grew stronger than ever. Every opportunity they had tried to block materialized with compound interest. The contrast was so dramatic that even skeptics started believing in divine intervention. They could see what was happening, but they couldn't stop it. They watched their careful plans disintegrate while your success accelerated beyond their worst nightmares. They were forced to witness their own destruction while simultaneously watching your elevation to heights they never imagined possible. The universe didn't just defeat them, it humiliated them. It made their loss so public, so undeniable, so devastating that their story became a cautionary tale whispered in circles they used to influence. Their names became synonymous with failure. Their methods became textbook examples of how not to oppose the chosen ones. Their attack on you was never really about you. You were never their true target. You were the catalyst that exposed their true nature to the universe and triggered their preordained destruction. The universe used their hatred of you as the trigger for their own elimination. Think about it. Before they attacked you, they were hiding behind masks of respectability. They were pretending to be good people while harboring darkness in their hearts. Their attack on you forced them to reveal their true character to everyone watching. Their sabotage became their confession. Their lies became their testimony against themselves. The universe needed a reason to remove them from positions where they could harm others. Their attack on you provided that reason. Their betrayal of you became evidence of their capacity for betrayal in general. Their lies about you revealed their relationship with truth in all areas of their lives. You weren't just a victim who overcame. You were an agent of cosmic justice who triggered the removal of toxic people from positions where they could cause damage. Your elevation wasn't just personal success, it was universal house cleaning. Your breakthrough wasn't just individual triumph, it was collective liberation from their negative influence. If you felt called by this message, hype this video so other chosen ones like you can be reached. But let's be crystal clear about what really happened here. This wasn't just a victory, this was total domination. You didn't just survive their attack, you absorbed their energy and used it to fuel your ascension to levels that made their original position look like amateur hour. You emerged from their attack, not just unbroken but upgraded, not just surviving but thriving. Not just protected but promoted to dimensions of power they couldn't even comprehend. Their intention to harm became the universe's tool to elevate you beyond their wildest imagination. The business they tried to sabotage is now flourishing beyond your original projections. The relationships they tried to contaminate are now deeper and more authentic than ever before. The reputation they tried to assassinate is now more golden and respected than it could have been without their attacks to forge it in fire. You've become antifragile, not just resistant to future attacks, but actually strengthened by them, not just protected from negativity, but powered by it, not just surviving opposition, but converting it into rocket fuel for continued domination of your field. Remember who you were when their attacks began. Remember the person who worried about their opinions, who feared their sabotage, who wondered if you were strong enough to handle their coordinated assault. That person has been completely transformed by the fire of their hatred. You've become the person who turns curses into blessings with supernatural skill. The person who transforms attacks into advantages that leave enemies speechless. The person who converts opposition into opportunities that exceed original expectations. The person who alchemizes poison into medicine through the sheer power of your presence. You're no longer someone who can be manipulated by manufactured emergencies. You're no longer someone who can be guilt-tripped into supporting other people's drama. You're no longer someone who gives precious energy to people who don't deserve access to your frequency. You've developed an intuition about fake people that's impossible to fool. You've built discernment about hidden agendas that cuts through deception like a laser through fog. You've cultivated wisdom about human nature that protects you from future attacks while positioning you to help others avoid similar traps. Every lie they told about you became a testimony to your character when truth emerged with devastating clarity. Every relationship they tried to poison became stronger when people saw what you were really facing and chose to stand with you anyway. Every opportunity they tried to block became proof of your resilience when you succeeded despite their interference. Their sabotage had accidentally created perfect conditions for your growth in ways they never intended. They forced you to develop skills you never knew you needed. They pushed you to discover capabilities you never knew you possessed. They motivated you to reach for dreams you might have settled for less than if they hadn't made your current situation intolerable. The obstacles they placed in your path became your training equipment for greatness. The resistance they provided became your personal gymnasium for building supernatural strength. The challenges they presented became your curriculum for mastering power that operates beyond their understanding. Every person they turned against you eventually came back with deeper appreciation for your authentic character. Every door they tried to close led to better doors opening that they didn't even know existed. Every limitation they tried to impose became the very catalyst for your breakthrough into unlimited possibilities. Their attack backfired so completely that they ended up providing testimonials for your character, advertisements for your resilience, and evidence for your divine protection. They became unwitting promoters of your greatness, while simultaneously documenting their own moral bankruptcy for all to witness. In trying to destroy you, they forced you to build something indestructible. In trying to isolate you, they pushed you toward connections that will last lifetimes and transcend dimensions. In trying to limit you, they motivated you to shatter every boundary they thought was permanent and discover territories of possibility they never knew existed. The foundation they tried to destroy became the bedrock of an empire they could never build themselves. Their attack was actually your activation into levels of power and influence that make their original position look like a child's sandbox compared to your ocean of authority. You didn't just recover from their sabotage, you used their sabotage as raw material to construct a fortress of success that's immune to future attacks. You didn't just survive their betrayal, you converted their betrayal into wisdom that makes you invincible to similar attempts. Their investment in your failure became the worst decision in cosmic history. Your investment in yourself, backed by universal forces beyond their comprehension, became the most profitable venture ever recorded in celestial ledgers. They lost everything betting against you. You gained everything betting on yourself with divine backing. Remember how this story began. They thought they were constructing your tomb when they started their coordinated attacks months ago. They believed they were digging your grave when they held those secret meetings and shared those screenshots. They were convinced they were writing your obituary when they spread their lies and built their alliance of saboteurs. The grave they dug for you became their own burial site. The tomb they constructed for you became their own mausoleum. The obituary they tried to write for you became their own eulogy as they faced the death of their reputation, their relationships, and their relevance. You emerged from what they intended as your grave, wearing a crown they never saw coming. You rose from what they designed as your tomb, carrying authority they never imagined possible. You stepped out of what they planned as your ending into a beginning, so powerful that it rewrote the rules of what's possible for chosen ones. The universe took their attempt to bury you and used it as the foundation for your throne. Their sabotage became your coronation ceremony. Their attack became your inauguration into levels of power that transcend their understanding and exceed their worst fears about your potential. They lost everything betting against you, and the universe made sure their loss was total, public, and irreversible. Their reputation lies in ruins because they revealed their true character while trying to destroy yours. Their relationships are shattered because they showed people what they're capable of when they feel threatened by someone's light. Their opportunities have evaporated because the cosmos withdrew its support from their endeavors. Their influence has vanished because the universe exposed their methods to anyone who was watching. Their future has been cancelled because they chose to oppose forces beyond their comprehension or capacity to resist. But you gained infinity. You didn't just win this battle. You inherited the entire war. You didn't just overcome their opposition. You absorbed their energy and converted it into fuel for ascension that will carry you through dimensions they can't even perceive. You are now operating at frequencies that make their previous position look like static interference. You're accessing resources that exist beyond their imagination. You're connected to networks that transcend their understanding. You're protected by forces that make their attacks look like raindrops against a mountain. But the devastation of their failed bet extends far beyond their personal destruction. You see, chosen ones, when the universe removes toxic players from the game, it creates space for authentic power to fill the vacuum. Their eliminated positions didn't just disappear, they transferred directly to you and others who operate from genuine intention. The clients they lost through their exposed character flaws didn't just vanish into thin air. They migrated to businesses run by people with integrity. The opportunities they forfeited through their revealed nature didn't cease to exist. They redirected toward individuals who could handle them with wisdom and responsibility. Their network connections didn't just dissolve when their true nature was exposed. Those relationships evolved into your connections because authentic people recognize authentic people. The resources they lost access to when karma collected its debt didn't disappear from the universe. They flowed toward chosen ones who could utilize them for positive impact. You're not just witnessing their downfall, you're inheriting their abandoned empire. You're not just watching their collapse, you're stepping into the power vacuum they created through their own moral bankruptcy. The universe abhors empty space and fills it immediately with worthy alternatives. Their most devastating loss wasn't financial or social, it was psychological. They bet everything on breaking your mental fortress, and when that fortress not only held but expanded into a castle of unshakable confidence, their own minds began cracking under the pressure of cognitive dissonance. They spent countless hours visualizing your defeat, programming their consciousness with images of your failure, conditioning their thoughts around the certainty of your downfall. When reality delivered the exact opposite outcome, their mental programming experienced a catastrophic system failure. Their confidence was built on the foundation of your expected failure. When that foundation crumbled, their entire sense of self-worth collapsed with it. They had tied their identity to being the ones who could bring down a chosen one. When they failed at that fundamental level, they lost not just the battle but their core belief in their own capabilities. You, meanwhile, built your confidence on the unshakable foundation of divine backing. Every attack they launched only proved that foundation was solid. Every failure of their schemes only reinforced your trust in cosmic protection. Your psychological fortress didn't just withstand their assault, it grew stronger with each failed attempt to breach it. In the realm of cosmic justice, mistakes against chosen ones don't carry simple interest. They compound exponentially until the debt becomes impossible to pay. Their initial bet against you was bad enough, but their decision to double down when their first attacks failed multiplied their eventual loss beyond calculation. Each escalation of their sabotage added another zero to their karmic debt. Each intensification of their assault increased the magnitude of their coming collapse. Each reinforcement they sent against your position only ensured their own defeat would be more spectacular and complete. They had multiple opportunities to cut their losses and retreat. The universe provided several exit ramps from the highway to their own destruction. But their pride, their ego, their absolute certainty that they could break someone under divine protection kept them accelerating toward the cliff edge of their own making. Now they're experiencing the compound effect of every choice they made against you. The simple failure of their initial scheme has multiplied into the complete demolition of their entire existence. The small bet they placed against your success has cost them everything they valued about their own lives. The universe calculated compound interest on their debt to cosmic justice, and when collection time arrived, they discovered they couldn't afford the payment. Their bankruptcy wasn't just financial, it was spiritual, emotional, social, and psychological. They bet against you and lost their entire existence in the process. What makes their loss even more devastating is how obviously supernatural your protection proved to be. Their failure wasn't subtle or ambiguous. It was so dramatic, so perfectly timed, so precisely targeted, that even the most skeptical observers had to acknowledge forces beyond natural explanation were at work. The synchronicities that aligned in your favor during their attack were impossible to dismiss as coincidence. The timing of their exposure was too perfect to be accidental. The precision with which their schemes backfired was too exact to be random. The universe left fingerprints all over your protection that no one could ignore. They found themselves facing inexplicable equipment failures during crucial moments of their campaign against you. Important documents vanished from their computers at exactly the wrong times. Key allies suddenly developed inconvenient attacks of conscience that prevented their participation in schemes against you. Meanwhile, you experienced the opposite phenomena. Solutions appeared for problems you hadn't even shared with anyone. Resources materialized exactly when you needed them most. The right people showed up at precisely the right moments with exactly the right assistance or information. Their catastrophic bet against you didn't just affect them personally. It sent shockwaves through their entire sphere of influence that will reverberate for generations. Their children will grow up hearing whispered stories about how their parents gambled everything on stopping someone they should have supported. Their professional legacy is now permanently tied to the spectacular failure of opposing a chosen one. Their name will be mentioned in business schools as a cautionary tale about the dangers of letting personal animosity override strategic thinking. Their methods will be studied as examples of how not to conduct competitive warfare. The institutions they represented lost credibility when their true nature was exposed through their attack on you. The organizations they influenced are now reviewing their association with someone whose judgment proved so catastrophically flawed. The movements they supported are distancing themselves from the toxicity their failed bet revealed. But your victory created a generational blessing that extends far beyond your immediate circle. Your children will inherit a world where authenticity triumphed over manipulation. Your community will benefit from the removal of toxic influences that would have caused damage for decades. Your industry will operate with higher standards because their corruption was exposed and eliminated. The universe used their bet against you as a teaching moment for anyone watching. It demonstrated that divine protection is real, that cosmic justice is active, and that betting against chosen ones is the fastest way to lose everything you value about your existence. On the deepest level, their bet against you involved an exchange of energy that they never understood. They poured their life force into cursing your path, never realizing that energy would return to them as their own destruction. They invested their spiritual capital in your failure, bankrupting their own souls in the process. Every moment they spent plotting against you was a moment of their life energy flowing away from their own advancement and toward their own demise. Every thought they directed toward your downfall was a thought stealing power from their own potential for success. Every word they spoke against you was a word that reduced their own capacity for creating positive outcomes. The universe operates on strict energy conservation laws. The power they used to attack you had to come from somewhere, and it came from their own reserves of luck, favor, opportunity, and protection. They depleted their own spiritual bank account to fund their war against you. You, meanwhile, were receiving not just your own cosmic support, but the redirected energy they were hemorrhaging through their attacks. Their assault made you stronger while making them weaker. Their sabotage fed your growth while starving their own development. When the final accounting was complete, they had transferred so much of their own life force into attacking you that they had nothing left to sustain their own existence at the level they once enjoyed. They bet their own energy against you and lost not just the bet but the energy itself. Their failed bet against you accomplished something they never intended and could never have imagined. It awakened you to the full extent of your own power. It revealed to you the reality of your divine protection. It activated within you capabilities that might have remained dormant without their catalyst of hatred. Before their attack, you might have doubted your chosen status. You might have questioned whether you deserved supernatural protection. You might have wondered if the universe really had your back when challenges arose. Their assault answered all those questions with devastating clarity. They forced you to discover that you cannot be broken by any power that exists on their level. They pushed you to realize that attacks against chosen ones always backfire with multiplied force. They taught you that your spiritual armor is real, active, and completely impenetrable to weapons forged in hatred. You now walk through life with unshakable confidence in your divine backing. You approach challenges with absolute certainty that the universe will align circumstances in your favor. You face opposition with calm assurance that any weapon formed against you will automatically turn against its wielder. The story of their failed bet against you is already becoming legend in circles that understand spiritual warfare. Their catastrophic miscalculation is being studied by others who might be tempted to oppose chosen ones. Their complete destruction serves as a warning to anyone considering similar attacks. Their name is now synonymous with the folly of betting against divine protection. Their methods are referenced as textbook examples of how opposition to chosen ones always results in self-destruction. Their defeat has become required reading for understanding cosmic justice in action. Future generations will study their downfall as proof that the universe maintains perfect order through consequences that fit crimes with mathematical precision. Their loss will be cited as evidence that divine protection is not theoretical but practical, not passive but actively devastating to those who challenge it. But your victory is creating an equally powerful legacy of inspiration for other chosen ones who face similar attacks. Your triumph demonstrates that no coordinated assault can overcome someone with cosmic backing. Your breakthrough proves that divine timing always delivers justice with perfect precision. While they lost everything they bet against you, you gained returns on your faith that extend into infinity. Every moment you trusted divine protection despite their attacks was an investment that now pays dividends beyond calculation. Every time you chose confidence over fear was a deposit in an account that compounds eternally. Your unwavering belief in your chosen status during their assault earned you interest from the universe itself. Your refusal to doubt your divine backing despite their coordinated attack multiplied your cosmic credit rating beyond their ability to comprehend. The universe noted every instance of your faith under fire. It recorded every moment you maintained trust, despite their attempts to shake your confidence. It calculated compound interest on every act of belief you demonstrated while under assault. Now you're receiving returns on that spiritual investment that will continue flowing for the rest of your existence. The courage you showed during their attack opened channels of blessing that will never close. The faith you maintained under pressure activated protective mechanisms that will never deactivate. Chosen one, anyone can listen to messages like these, but few will step into their true power. We are here to help you do just that. The weekly Chosen Ones group calls are now on Zoom, and this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. These meetings are literal power vortexes where destinies are forged, where chosen ones unite their consciousness to create something that cannot exist in isolation. This is where everything changes. This is where you step into your greatness. Every week a doorway opens, but only for those brave enough to step through it. Watcher-level members of the Obsidian Inner Order can experience these transformative sessions live, feeling the energy surge through your entire being. In our most recent gathering, participants were stunned by revelations about the Great Pyramids of Giza as sophisticated ancient power plants, and the shocking truth about Washington, D.C.'s layout perfectly aligning with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Star Chamber members receive unlimited access to the complete recordings archive, a treasure trove of wisdom that grows more valuable with each passing week. This is your defining moment. The knowledge, the connection, the power that flows through these calls cannot be found anywhere else. Join the Obsidian Inner Order now, link in the description. While the few remaining Star Chamber slots are still available, your presence is not just welcome, it's necessary. Will you answer the call that has been echoing through your soul? The time is now. The transformation you've undergone during this cosmic battle has elevated you beyond your original chosen status. You've evolved from someone with potential into someone with proven power. You've graduated from protected status into active authority over the very forces that once seemed beyond your control. Your consciousness has expanded to accommodate truths that would shatter ordinary minds. You now understand that reality bends around your intentions when those intentions align with divine will. You've learned that obstacles dissolve when you approach them with the confidence of someone who knows the universe is actively conspiring in your favor. This isn't just personal growth. This is dimensional elevation. You're operating from a frequency that makes your previous level of existence seem like a distant memory. Your thoughts carry more weight, your words manifest faster, your presence commands respect from forces both seen and unseen. The person who first faced those coordinated attacks no longer exists. That version of you was consumed in the fires of transformation and rebuilt as someone capable of wielding power that defies conventional understanding. You've been forged in the crucible of cosmic justice and emerged as pure, concentrated authority. Something fundamental has shifted in how reality responds to your presence. You've developed a gravitational pull that draws opportunities, resources, and aligns souls toward your orbit with irresistible force. Success doesn't just find you anymore. It seeks you out like metal filings racing toward a magnet. Your energy signature has been permanently upgraded through this trial by fire. You radiate a frequency that the universe recognizes as belonging to someone who has passed the ultimate test of faith under pressure. This new vibration you emit acts as a beacon that guides blessings directly to your location. People can sense this transformation even when you're not speaking. Your quiet confidence communicates volumes about the power backing your presence. Opportunities present themselves to you first because the cosmic intelligence knows you can handle them with wisdom and responsibility. You've become a walking demonstration of what happens when divine protection activates in response to coordinated attacks. Your very existence serves as proof that betting against chosen ones results in the better's complete elimination, while the target ascends to unimaginable heights. Your victory over those who bet against you has created waves of transformation that extend far beyond your immediate circumstances. Other chosen ones are awakening to their own power because they witnessed your demonstration of what's possible when faith meets cosmic backing under extreme pressure. The energy you generate through your elevated state is healing wounds in people you've never met. Your triumph over coordinated darkness is inspiring courage in souls who were afraid to step into their own light. Your breakthrough is creating permission for others to believe in their own divine protection. You've become a living testament that encourages other chosen ones to trust their spiritual armor when facing their own battles. Your story is being whispered in circles where people understand the reality of cosmic warfare. Your victory is becoming the foundation for other people's faith in divine justice. The universe used your situation as a teaching moment for anyone who was watching. Your experience serves as a masterclass in how divine protection operates when someone with chosen status faces coordinated opposition from multiple sources. Through surviving and thriving during this assault, you've inherited authority over realms of possibility that were previously inaccessible. You've earned credentials in cosmic law that grant you access to resources and protections reserved for those who prove their worthiness under fire. Your spiritual credit rating has been upgraded to infinite status. The universe now treats your requests with priority processing because you've demonstrated unwavering faith when faith was all you had. Your prayers carry more weight because they come from someone who trusted divine timing even when appearances suggested abandonment. You've been granted clearance to operate at levels of manifestation that would overwhelm someone who hadn't been prepared through the pressure you endured. Your consciousness has been expanded to contain truths about reality that can only be safely revealed to those who won't misuse such knowledge. The cosmic forces that once seemed mysterious now respond to your intentions with immediate cooperation. You've developed a working relationship with universal law that allows you to collaborate with fate rather than simply hoping for favorable circumstances. This victory has created momentum in your life that will carry you forward for generations to come. You've broken through to a level of existence where setbacks become setups and obstacles transform into opportunities before you even encounter them fully. Your breakthrough has programmed reality to continue delivering victories that build upon each other with exponential force. Each new success amplifies the next one because you're operating from a foundation of proven divine favor that compounds with every manifestation. You've entered a cycle of continuous elevation where each achievement becomes the launching pad for the next level of impossibility made possible. Your life has become a demonstration of unlimited potential when human will aligns with cosmic intention. The universe has invested so much energy in your victory that it continues to pay dividends through circumstances that unfold in your favor without conscious effort on your part. Your triumph has become self-sustaining and self-amplifying. Chosen one, you have metamorphosed from someone who was targeted for destruction into someone whose legend will inspire future generations. The grave prepared for your defeat became the foundation of your eternal throne. The ending written for your story became the prologue of your infinite beginning. The wager placed against your success became the catalyst for your emergence as an unstoppable force of nature. Your response to coordinated darkness revealed light so brilliant that it permanently altered the cosmic landscape around your existence. You have ascended from potential into kinetic power. You have evolved from protected into protective. You have transformed from chosen into choosing your own reality, with authority that bends universal law to accommodate your vision. The universe used their bet against you as the triggering mechanism for your elevation into realms of power that exist beyond their capacity to comprehend or challenge. Your victory stands as eternal testimony that divine protection doesn't just defend, it dominates completely and permanently.